Hi guys, welcome to Fluent Football, the channel that teaches you everything you need to know to speak fluent football in English. Thanks for joining me. I'm Matt. Today you are going to learn 5 phrases in context that will be very useful for you if you are a coach, an analyst, or anyone working in football. You will need to know these in English. Before we get started, hit the like and subscribe buttons. This helps me out and makes sure you see all the future videos. Let's jump into it. Today we are going to look at an article by Marcus Escheblad over at the website breakingthelines.com. I will leave a link to the article in the description so you can read it yourself. So the first phrase I want you to know is feed someone the ball. This basically just means pass someone the ball, but it gets used specifically to say to give the ball to an attacking player, usually to do some sort of attacking action. So you would feed the ball to the wingers, to the strikers, maybe to attacking midfielders. You might say centre backs play long balls to feed the strikers, or the midfielders play balls wide to feed the wingers, something like this. In the example we've got from Marcus, we'll have a look here. Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva had both been positioning themselves within reach for quite a while, but it was only now that City were able to properly feed them the ball. And we've got another example here. However, just when he placed his first step forward, the creative Belgian fed the ball in behind to a leaping Gabriel Jesus. Fed here because it's in the past. Number 2 that you need to know is to provide width. Provide width. This means to use the wide areas of the pitch. If you attack down the center, if your team passes the ball and attacks down the center, there is no width to your attack. If you use the wings and if you pass from one side to the other and pass into the center and move the ball around, you have width in your attack. So we would say when players act in a way that uses the wide areas, they provide width. We'll have a look at the example here. Roberto Firmino in Liverpool is one example. He is, however, dependent on wingers playing more centrally, and in Liverpool, the fullbacks are often the ones providing the width. And that's true. We see that all the time with Trent Alexander-Arnold, always very wide, crossing the ball in, providing width in their attack. Number 3 is to roam. So roam means to move wherever you want to. You can move to the left wing, to the right wing, you can stay in the center. You are not locked to one position on the pitch. You can roam anywhere you want. We'll have a look here at the example. So still with Roberto Firmino, he is, however, dependent on wingers playing more centrally, and in Liverpool, the fullbacks are often the ones providing the width. This means that Firmino is able to roam in a system where other players in his team are engaging the centre backs and spreading the opposition's lines. So Firmino can move around a lot. He's not locked to one position. Number 4, to pin your opponent. To pin someone means you keep them in a particular space. So if you are a striker and you have one of the centre backs marking you, the centre back is staying with you, you can pin the centre back in a particular position. You can keep them somewhere because they're marking you. They can't move. They need to stay with you. So you can pin them. We'll have a look here. Great minds like Thomas Tuchel, Pep Guardiola, and Erik ten Hag all seem to be heavily reliant on leaving the wingers wide and high to stretch the play, but also provide depth, pinning the opponent's back line down. So they're saying the wingers are positioned in a way that keeps the opponent's back line in a particular position. They can't move. They have to stay there. They have to stay in that position. And number 5, the final one, is overload an area of the pitch. Overload means to have more of your players in one area of the pitch than the opponent. So if you have 3 players on the left wing passing the ball around and the opponent has 2 players on the left wing trying to get the ball, you have overloaded that area of the pitch. Having a look at the example here, another key aspect seems to be to not overload with players between the opponent's midfield and defensive line. So what they're saying here is that a key aspect of this form of attack is to not put too many players in one area. All right, there you go, guys. Those are your 5 phrases for today. Head on over to breakingthelines.com and read the full article. If there are any other words or phrases that you don't understand, make sure to comment below and I will explain them to you. Also, again, if this video was useful for you, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Helps me out a lot and makes sure that you get all future content. Thanks for joining me, guys. Have a good one.